Hi, my name is Esther Lewars, and I am a supervisor in the Student Information Services Department. Welcome to today's recap of the Clerk Chit Chat WebEx, which was held on February 1st. So the SIS team is under the umbrella of the Office of Policy Planning, Evaluation, and Testing. The executive director is Ms. Rashonda Jackson, and our director is Darren Watsky. The agenda for the chit chat on February 1st is as such. As you can see, we have started Black History Month, so happy Black History Month. We went over the important dates, data champion highlights, a quick show and tell, data management as it pertains to PowerSchool news and updates, entry-exit codes, overlapping enrollment. We also reviewed the report card preparation process, the reports you can run to prepare for report card, and the information related to document delivery. And as usual in every session, we remind you of the resources that are available, one of which is the PowerSchool support form and the SIS support website. The important dates. So January 25th through January 28th are the dates designated for high school year one courses, midterm, and semester one exam finals. So exam one for year one courses and exam two final for semester courses. Only those assignments should have a due date of January 25th, 26th, 27th, or 28th. No other assignments in the high school or a high school course should have those due dates. Okay, so we had our chit chat on the 1st yesterday. On the 5th, teachers must finalize their gradebook with all Q1 final grades and comments. On February 9th, we will store the grades. Then on the 15th is parent-teacher conference. We will have a chit-chat open office, so we will be available at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Should you have any questions, there will be no formal agenda. We understand it's a very busy day for you, the clerks, so we will make ourselves available should you have any questions. On the 19th is President's Day, which is a holiday for everyone, and then we will have our chit-chat again on the 29th. So we opened up the month with a chit-chat on the 1st, and then we're closing the month on the 29th with another chit-chat, which is, a leap year. So I don't think that's ever happened before in my recent time as a supervisor here with the SIS team. All right, so this image is just showing you all the dates as it pertains to Q2 and where we are now in the school year. It is available on the district's website. So for report card, it's important that we look at these dates. The information pertaining to Q2 report card timeline was placed in principal points and teacher talk. So the administrators should have gotten the correspondences that we shared, that our team shared, as well as the teachers should have gotten it. But please remind your teachers that on the 5th, all grades and final comments need to be finalized. And we do know that, things happen, mishaps happen, things might need to be changed. So by the 5th, all schools should have done a review of the grade books to make sure that everything is correct. If there are any changes that need to be made, those changes need to be made by February 9th, right? So when we store grades, we should be storing an accurate representation of all students' grade as it pertains to Q2, quarter 2. Now, I know that I've been doing this for quite some time. So if after we store grades on February 9th, you realize some errors that weren't caught, there is still an opportunity. However, you will have to do those grade storing manually. Teachers continue to review their grade books. If there's something that was missed and need to be fixed, complete a historical grade change form and then administrator needs to sign off on it, and then someone with access to change historical grades would need to go in and do that. All right, and then report card will be distributed on the 15th. So that's it for that, and this process also involves, updating your document delivery, which I will explain towards the end of this presentation. All right, kudos to the Unified Data Management Champions. So I started sharing this data back in October, and these are the schools who, when I ran the report on February 1st, had 0 errors in their PowerSchool. So there were about 9 reports that we asked schools to run, which range from their demographic data errors, entry, exit code, special characters. So the schools are in the East Central Ward, Michelle Obama, Oliver Street, and South Street. In the North Ward, Abington Avenue, Elliott Street, First Avenue, McKinley, Park Elementary, Rafael Hernandez, Roberto Clemente, and Sussex Avenue. And then the Southwest is Chancellor Avenue, Harriet Tubman, and Hawthorne Avenue. So special acknowledgement to our Southwest team, who has quite a few schools represented here. So thank you for working on this. And then special acknowledgement to Early Childhood North. They're highlighted in yellow with an asterisk because ever since I started running this SLT report, they've had 0 errors. So, that's just awesome. Thank you. So continue to clean up your data because it's very important. It ties into everything that we do as a district. Having accurate information allows us to make decisions that are based on accurate data that represents our students. So thank you. Show and tell. Schoolman sync errors. So there are quite a few reasons why you may get an error when you sync a student in Schoolman, and oftentimes the system will tell you, right? If there's an error issue with the contact phone number or address, and so we'll give you a clue as to where you can go and fix the error. However, sometimes it just tells you cannot sync, contact an administrator, and so you'll send us an email. So if this happens, the first thing to check is, ta-da! So you're going to search for the student in Schoolman. When you find the student, you're going to open up their checklist, the list of forms that the parent filled out. Look at the registration and emergency contact form. And when you click on that, you're going to have to click on registration and emergency again. When you do that, you're going to see some 2 zeros. Erase the 0 that you are able to edit, and that should resolve the problem. So any characters that are in that student SIS local ID field should be removed. I've only seen 0s, but if you see any other characters in that field that's not a student number, remove the information and resync the file. And sometimes, if the file was synced or incorrectly synced to a wrong student number, you want to erase that number and have the system try to resync or enter the correct number that should have been in that field. All right, so that's how you troubleshoot a record that's not being synced in Schoolman. IT updates. So this issue indirectly impacts PowerSchool security. So back in November, the IT department emailed all staff, full-time and part-time staff, a cybersecurity training, which started phase 1 of their initiative. It has been made known that quite a few staff have not completed this process. So I encourage you to find that email if you have not done so and complete the cybersecurity training, because it then allows the district to move on to phase 2 of the cybersecurity training process. And so I say that this step does not directly impact PowerSchool. However, PowerSchool is an information system, and so all systems need to be secured. And cybersecurity is one of those, the tactics that are used to hack systems or get information from systems. are very subtle sometimes, and a simple process as just locking your computer can prevent issues, right? So going through the training will make sure that you continue to use PowerSchool in a secure manner and secure the data and the district systems that we use that are all integrated from PowerSchool, PeopleSoft, Chronos, all the various systems that tie in and are used on a daily basis. So also encourage your staff, right? If you've done it, share the information again, remind your staff to complete this process. All right, PowerSchool updates. We understand that you want to have zero errors in your special ed validation report, and we understand the urgency of that. But the special ed team and our office, we want to make sure that we come to a final consensus of what the data is supposed to be. So sometimes when things are incorrect in Ed Plan, we'll go in and make the changes in PowerSchool, but then it's not really what the correct changes should be. So we want to both be in alignment, both the special ed team and information coming from Ed Plan, and making sure that we are getting the information, the correct information from Ed Plan, and it is just one streamlined extraction of data that's coming into our system. So both teams are working together, and as soon as that process is completed, we will have a system to make sure that we're updating the PowerSchool information on a timely, consistent schedule. All right, so we thank you for your understanding, and sorry for the inconvenience, but it will be a great process and outcome when everything is done. And I probably just talked too much about that just now, but anyways, I do understand, and so we are working on it, and both teams are aware, and I'm sure your leaders are aware that we are working on this process as well. All right, entry-exit codes. All students who are new to the district and coming to a school in the United States for the first time must have an E1 code. So usually our pre-K students, they will all have E1. However, students coming from another country should have an E1 code as well. If they are returning to the country, like, they came to the U.S. when they were 2 years old, they left, went to another country, and now they're coming back, then you would use the R6 or R7 for re-enrolling from another country. But outside of those small numbers of students, the first time a child comes from a country, they're coming from Jamaica, they're coming from Honduras, we want to make sure that they are coded with an E1 entry code. And new students, when they sing from School Mint, those codes are blank, so you will need to go in and enter a code for those new students. Students who are transferring from another district school will have an R2 coming from another district school. Now, if they're coming from a charter school, whether they're in Newark or another town, we need to use R13. So if they're coming from a charter school in Newark, it doesn't matter that they're in Newark. We shouldn't be using R2. We should be using R13. So these codes help to maintain data, to validate the data, to make sure that we are in compliance with state reporting. So if the child was at a charter school and that charter school reported that child to the state, right, the state has a record that they were at a charter school, but then now they're in our system and we say that they're coming from another district school. So that's some discrepancy in our data. So we want to make sure that we are keeping in alignment and maintaining data integrity as we manage and enroll new students. And the same goes for the exit codes, but we just want to reiterate the charter school code and the entry codes that are used for new students. All right, so these are some overlapping enrollment errors. These numbers may have changed since they were run by Babu earlier this week or last week. Overlapping enrollments are sometimes intentional. Some schools enroll students in the same course more than once because they're in an elective or advisory, right? If you know that's the case, then that's fine. You can explain to a parent why the child is in two courses. If it's an error, then we want to fix them because when we store grades on February 9th, we're going to store 2 copies of the grades. And if it's an error, you're going to have to delete those duplicate grades. So to prevent the storing of duplicate grades, you want to fix the overlapping errors prior to February 9th. And, there are some implications as well. If a child is in 2 classes unintentionally, is it 2 homerooms? What course was it? Are they getting attendance and other things that's on their account that shouldn't be there? So you want to also look at any attendance if they're in homerooms twice. So there's our report, the SQL report, data management, unified data, overlapping course enrollment report, where you can find all of your overlapping enrollments. So the Q2 report card readiness report you can find under START, PSCB, Dev reports, grading, and these reports allow you to see what's happening in the gradebook. And I say allow you because, yes, you have access to see this, but it is not your responsibility as the clerk to manage and to oversee teachers' gradebooks. So an administrator, supervisor of record, an instructional coach that supports teachers can run these reports and have that conversation with the teachers, if there's anything that needs to be addressed. Yes, you can run them and see what's happening. And if you see, okay, it's now Friday and grades are in the gradebook, then you want to ask someone, what's happening because the grades are due on Monday. So having those conversations, as a team, everybody is playing a vital role, and sometimes things are missed. And so we want to be all on the same page and all working towards the same common goal. And so some of the reports that you can run that are critical are listed here. The grades and comments shows you what grades, final grades and comments are currently in the grade book. The grade search allows you to search for any, specific grade where you want to see grades that are failing, D's, students that are getting A's. The gradebook categories, they should have been corrected from Q1, but, might be somebody decided that, okay, I'm going to create some new categories now. And if that's the case, we want to see and fix those problems before we store the grades, because if any categories outside of summative and formative were used, then those assignments will not be included in the calculation of the student's final grades. Missing grades, definitely want to fix. If a child was in the class for the quarter, some students may have just entered your school like the last week of the quarter. So we want to also make sure that those students have blank grades. So if they're missing, that's fine, right? And if there are any grades in there, it might be you want to erase them prior to storing grades, because then you'll have to delete them eventually. Okay, so the last process is to update your document delivery. You want to find any students without emails. As students are enrolled in your school, sometimes the document delivery don't have the email. So we want to update the students' document delivery email. We want to update the school's document delivery messages. And you can get to that from School Digital Document Delivery. There's a window that opens up. You make sure that the Enable Document Delivery box is checked. Update the subject to reflect Q2 report card, and then update the message. So on our support website is a document that you can just copy and paste the message into this area and save it. And then on February 15th, you would schedule document delivery to go out. So this is an image of our support website. You can get to it from the district's website. And there is a link that says employees and then PowerSchool support. You will need an MBOE, email, and credentials to access the information. At the bottom of the screen is a link to our SIS support submission form that we ask you to utilize for all of your PowerSchool and PowerTeacher requests. So here you will have the PowerTeacher support and PowerSchool support. You can refer teachers to this area. We try to put information on there that's useful to the teachers who are using PowerTeacher. If you click on PowerSchool support, it will take you to this page. And on this page, if you click on Info and Resources, that page has all of the documents that we have created. And one of them is the document delivery message and how-to guide. So use this. If you have any questions, use our SIS PowerSchool support form to submit your request. We recommend that you use this form versus emailing us, because we all have access to see it and we go through and address your concerns as needed. If it's an emergency, by all means, email us or, give us a call. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. My name is Esther Lewars, a member of the Student Information Services team here at the New York Board of Education. Thank you.